What's up, everyone? Welcome to Chicks and Salsa. So we have a super special edition of the show for y'all this week. Normally we're on Tuesdays. We either do 3 Chicks in a Pod or we do Chicks and Salsa. This week we are so lucky to not only have Candy join us, but we have Marnie Schneider also joining us today. Marnie, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Actually, not guys. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies, for having me. Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you.
Right. So for the people that don't know who you are, will you go ahead and kind of give us a little history about yourself, what you do now, maybe a few things that you've done in the past, a little bit about your family. I know there's a lot that you could cover with all that.
So, the short version is that I'm a children's book author. I've written 10 books, and my most recent book is a book called Football Freddy and Fumble the Dog Game Day in Canton. So all my other books are Football Freddy and Fumble the Dog Game Day in different cities. But so I'm a children's book author. I am somebody who is very involved in the Ronald McDonald House and the Alzheimer's Association. I'm a mom with 3 kids. I'm a dog mom, and I have a lovely family, and I'm very thankful for all the amazing experiences that I've had in my life. So, including being on your show today.
Awesome. Well, we're so appreciative.
We really are. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are. Marnie, when you growing up, we read that you were the granddaughter of someone that owned some NFL football team. I think it was the Eagles, if I don't mistaken. Tell us a little bit about that experience and how it was growing up. Like, were you at a lot of NFL games? Were you at practices? Like, did you interact with a lot of players?
Well, yeah. So my grandfather, Leonard Toes, owned the Philadelphia Eagles, and my mom, Susan Toes, ran the team for my grandfather. So I was very fortunate. I had the opportunity to travel around and see a lot of games, and that was kind of the genesis of Football Freddy and Fumble the Dog Game Day. I did not go to that many practices. I did spend a lot of time waiting in my mother's office for her to have meetings, because when you're the child of a single working mom, you just kind of get toted along wherever they go. And however, it was lots of fun, and I'm definitely grateful that I was able to learn a little bit about football, because I really think that sports is the universal language.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice. Did you get to a lot of different stadiums?
I did. I went to a lot of games. The Eagles played a lot of teams that were in the NFC East, so they were pretty close. A lot of the teams that the Eagles played, the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. So I would go there at least once a year, and then go to Dallas once a year. And at the time, the Cardinals, which are now the Phoenix Cardinals, they were in St. Louis, and they were part of the NFC East. So I would go to St. Louis, and then other cities, whether it was Denver or Seattle, Los Angeles. There were some places that I always really liked to go. Miami was always fun. So yeah, Pittsburgh.
I was going to say, do you have a favorite stadium that you've been to then?
At the time, I loved going to Cowboy games, because the cheerleaders, even though they were not Eagles cheerleaders, the cheerleaders were always so cool and so fun to see. And Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders they're a huge part of the whole presentation. So that was fun. And then I really liked Kansas City. That stadium was really well ahead of its time and was beautiful, and it was lots of fun there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You just made Carrie very happy, by the way, with that last comment, Marnie.
Right. Megan. I mean,
she's our Chiefs chick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great city, and it was such a great stadium. It was really amazingly well ahead of its time. Certainly, yeah,
absolutely. Well, Marnie, you have a fantastic resume. I mean, like you have NFL royalty. You know, you've been an actress, and you had played a really important role. What was it in?
Oh,
with
you're being
Adam
very
Sandler.
kind. You're being very, very. You're being very kind to your guest. Yes, I played Joyce, the flight attendant, and the wedding singer. I don't know how important that role was, but however, it was fun. So
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you and I are probably similar in age, and I would think hanging out with Adam Sandler would be so fun and nonstop laughing. Motivational speaker, author, you have all of these great outlets. You have all of this legacy. If you had not been part of an NFL legacy, would you still be pursuing these avenues and these passions of yours?
I believe so. I think that I love getting kids reading. And so that's something that I've always enjoyed. Obviously, I didn't really know much else. I knew sports, and that was kind of the background that I grew up in. Perhaps if I was not doing something in this sports world and philanthropy, I would hope that I would be doing something philanthropic, maybe not necessarily sports, but definitely something philanthropic. I always tell my kids that whenever they're having a bad day, the best way to reset themselves is to go volunteer, go do something for someone else. And it's the best way to reset yourself and to realize that whatever you're dealing with is not that big of a deal, and it will pass, and that there's other people that really you can help out. And that to me is really the best way to get through anything difficult.
Absolutely.
100%. There's a charity here in Charlotte that I love. Like, I'll send anybody and everybody to Beds for Kids. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but I love working with them.
Well, I would love to hear about that. So let's definitely, please. We'll talk after the show and let me know about it. That sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything to really, for me, I really enjoy finding ways to make a difference. And so whether it's going and reading to kids or donating books or finding ways to help contribute financially, those are things that really matter to me.
Right.
I love your essence, and that you're wanting to leave the world even better than where you found it. So I love that part.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think it's important to try to leave everything, people, situations, places better than when you found them. So, or at least as good. So that's something that I learned that at a young age. And hopefully I'm able to do that and to follow through with some of that and not squander the opportunities that I've been blessed with.
Now, I have a very, very important question for you. Okay, Marnie?
Please.
Is very important to me.
Okay.
All right. When your grandfather gave Princess Diana her Philadelphia Eagles jacket, did you get to meet her?
No, it's funny. This story is really on everybody's mind lately. No, I did not get to meet her because the jacket was sent to the United Kingdom. And then, I did not get to meet her. And then, but she wore the jacket. She seemed to really enjoy the jacket a lot and wore it, certainly wore it on the cover of People magazine and wore it in a bunch of places. And I like to say that it kind of gave her that sense of normalcy, and putting on the jacket made her feel that she was just a regular mom, and perhaps in that environment of being Princess Diana, it was any sort of little tiny nugget of normalcy you could take. I think she wanted it. Right.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, when I was doing research, I was like, I had no clue. So I had to ask you that.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're looking into finding the jacket. So you're very right on topic, Jenny.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool if you could find that. And then even for your foundation, Game Day in the USA,
right?
Like put it up for auction. I bet that would generate a lot of, funds for your foundation.
Well, I don't. Yes, I
said funds and foundation a lot there. Sorry.
Yes, that's a great idea. I have a feeling, though, if we find this jacket, it would probably just be on display at Lincoln Financial or at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and maybe hopefully they would do something charitable to whomever. But I feel like it really belongs in Philadelphia or belongs at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we'll see if we can find it. But yes, I know. No, my fiance said we have to go find that jacket, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So let's. So we have some high level people on the hunt for the jacket.
So I heard from my side, guilty pleasure, that Bo Dietl's a very good PI. So
all right, well, see if you can, start typing, see, find out where that thing is. Somebody must know where the jacket is.
Oh, what was it like growing up with your mom? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Megan.
No, you're fine. Go ahead, Jen.
I was just going to ask, what was it like with your mom, such that fierce pioneer? Because we actually did a podcast about your mom last summer. So, what was it like just seeing her?
I think that my mother was always somebody that wanted to do things that were going to be helpful to others. So for her, if it meant that she was going to be the first female vice president, legal counsel, and general manager of a professional football team, that she would bring a lot of women along that journey with her and support and help other women get far in their career. And then I think being somebody that she was very disciplined and very driven to do the job really well meant a lot of sacrifice. And it meant sacrifice for me too, because I wanted my mom to be the mom in the carpool picking me up often. And I wanted her to be the mom at the parties, bringing the home baked goods, and that was not going to happen. But when we talked about it and she explained to me that the trade-off, it really, I understood that. And my mom and I are very, very close, and I'm very grateful for all of her accomplishments. And I think that she was very pleased that I did not give her a lot of pushback as a teenage girl by being a rebel or getting into trouble. I wanted to make it easy for everybody because I knew that there was a bigger thing out there.
Yeah. I mean, what she did paved the way for us in so many ways.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it did. It wasn't just front office. It was women being reporters and women being executives and women being coaches. So there were many things that she did. And so thank you for acknowledging that.
Of course.
To kind of follow up on that, actually. So I think all four of us ladies basically started our sports journey as super fans. And as COVID hit, podcasts got popular. And they were popular before, but massively much more popular after COVID or during COVID. And that's kind of where we got our start. And I ended up doing a press conference for the WNBA. It was for the Indiana Fever. And there was a moment as I'm sitting there, I'm talking to this legendary coach, Maureen Stanley. And there was just a moment as I'm talking to her, and I realized, I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And just basically pushing forward women in sports, but specifically women in basketball. That's kind of my niche. But, I cover all sports. But did you ever have a moment with some of the things that you do and where you were like, this is literally what I'm supposed to be doing with my life?
I think that when I see people reading my books, or when I get a chance to read my books to kids or talk about them, and also realize that I'm helping them enjoy sports, becoming a fan, reading, just celebrating playing and celebrating the local teams and kind of highlighting the great places that are in different cities. I think those things really make me, I kind of have my pinch myself moment. My most recent book was about the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Freddie and Fumble travel around Canton, and being there for the enshrinement ceremony, and being there and in the store where my books were being sold and everybody was so excited about the Hall of Famers. I was like, wait a minute, is this real? I mean, really, it really, truly still brings a little bit of tears to my eyes because I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And just getting to do those kind of things, it's definitely a huge blessing. I'm very thankful. I do not take it for granted at all.
Yeah.
And do you have any projects coming out that maybe kind of helps push forward that direction? Like, do you have anything else that you're working on right now that you're like, okay, this is ultimately moving me towards my end game, my goal as I move forward with this?
Well, I'm continuing with the book series, and ultimately the big goal with Game Day is that we're going to write books for all the different leagues. So it's baseball, Billy and Bunt, basketball, Bobby and Buzzer, soccer, Sammy and Score. Same idea, travel around, see the sites, and celebrate being a fan, and then you end up at the game to cheer on the home team. So those are things that I'm really excited about doing, and getting all the other books, finishing up all the football cities, and then moving on to basketball, baseball, soccer, and then definitely international. So those are things that are going to happen very, very, very soon.
And as a teacher, I can say that is really neat because it takes all types of subject matter, all types of niche type situations to bring those kids in. And, you know, you found a way through sports to excite them and bring them through a reading journey. And that to me, from a teacher's point of view, is pretty impressive.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. When teachers and librarians compliment what I'm doing, those are amazing compliments. So thank you. I appreciate that, because they're really in the trenches with the kids and suggesting books and getting them excited about reading and teaching them to read and encouraging them to read. So thank you very much.
It sounds like you've really added what your mom used to say to the players. I have it scrolling at the below. If you aren't adding value, so that's pretty much your MO now and your manner of life. Am I correct?
I think so. I think in general, just you have to figure out how you can add value, whatever it is, in a personal relationship, in a business relationship, in a friendship. You know, you want to be adding value and bringing joy and bringing fun and being somebody that is reliable and somebody that can bring things to the table and also consistently do that as well and comprehensively. So I think if I can do some of those things consistently and comprehensively, then I will be feeling good about myself.
I think it sounds kind of like you've taken after a little bit, and if I'm assuming too much, forgive me, but that you've kind of taken some of some of your grandfather's instincts, like, because your grandfather was with the Eagles, but he also was the founder of the Ronald McDonald House. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that came about?
Yes. So my grandfather, when he owned the Philadelphia Eagles, a player on the team named Fred Hill, his daughter was diagnosed with leukemia, and they did not know what that was. But obviously, everybody rallied around Kim and the family. And so they started a charity called Eagles Fly for Leukemia. And then that turned into the very first Ronald McDonald House, finding a location, opening up a place where families could stay while their children were getting treatment. And I'm really proud of the Ronald McDonald House. And there's over 365 Ronald McDonald Houses internationally, all over the world. And it's a place where if you have a sick child, you can stay at the Ronald McDonald House. They provide so much peace and comfort for families that are going through something that's very, 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 very traumatizing and very difficult. Mm-hmm. So it's a great place to contribute. Certainly, if you ever want to volunteer anytime, the Ronald McDonald House loves volunteers. But also, if you know, most people know somebody that has a Ronald McDonald House story.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to jump in, and a friend of Chicks and Salsa and 3 Chicks in a Pod, and all of us ladies, is Troy Geary. And first, I'm supposed to tell you hi from him. And secondly, he wanted to tell you that your family impacted his family when his daughter was born. And he spent 2 weeks living in the Ronald McDonald House in Kansas City. So, yes, we all have a connection one way or another to a Ronald McDonald House. And, I can't imagine being a parent. I can't imagine walking in those shoes, but knowing there's something out there that would be able to help me, had I been in that situation, is was always reassuring in the background, because fighting for your child and their health is a full-time 100% all of your attention, and not having to worry about something else would have to be a true blessing.
Yeah, it really does. My oldest son had neuroblastoma when he was 9 months old, and we did not stay in a Ronald McDonald house, but we definitely spent a lot of time in the hospital and traveling back and forth to Philadelphia. We were living in California at the time, and that's where our doctors were, in Philadelphia. So I think that my family lived in Philadelphia, so we stayed with them. But I can only imagine not having my family there in Philly to stay with. So staying in the Ronald McDonald House would have been the place where we would have stayed. And I think that it's interesting. I can definitely communicate with the families who have sick children on a few different levels. My family was very involved in the first house. I'm still involved. And also I've had a sick child. So I really know what that feels like.
Right. Well, your volunteerism and your philanthropic efforts are widely known. But I do have a question.
Yes.
At Radio Row, did you get a chance to meet Troy's daughter, Savannah?
No.
She was there. I am in love with Savannah. Troy, Savannah, amazing. Love you, Troy. But I love Savannah.
Well, in Vegas. We'll make it happen in Las Vegas.
There you go.
In that case, what happens in Vegas won't. What do they say? What happens in Vegas? We'll make it not stay in Vegas in that case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And if we don't meet before then, we'll meet in Vegas.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely meet before then, Jenny. Yeah.
Exactly. We will. Now, and during the height of pandemic, 2020, July 2020, you were actually given the Award of Excellence for the Western North Carolina Alzheimer's Association. I don't want to delve too much into it. I know what I've read, so I know some of it's public, but I'll let you take it from there. But what did that award mean to you, and how did you get so involved with Alzheimer's Association in North Carolina?
Well, so my mother, Susan, was diagnosed with frontal lobe dementia in 2019, and that was something that I was really, obviously, like every family, when a family member gets diagnosed with dementia, it really is a gut punch. And I didn't really know what to do. So my typical fallback is to get involved, and that really is my coping skill. So I reached out to the Alzheimer's Association and helped them raise a bunch of money. And as a result of that, they awarded me their Person of the Year. So I think that they were appreciative of my efforts, and I will continue to fight with to raise money and help them, and also finding ways to celebrate people that are living with dementia and acknowledge that. And hopefully my story of my mom is a story that resonates. It can happen to anybody, and we just have to really all hunker down and do what we can to find a cure for this disease, or find ways to make it just a little bit brighter for people that are going through it.
That's awesome. My mother-in-law passed away in July 2022.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. They thought that she'd had Alzheimer's or dementia, and they gave her medication for it, but it ended up being cancer. So my thing is, I want to figure out how a regular person like myself, who's not an MD, can truly tell the difference, because the actions mirror Alzheimer's and dementia so much with cancer brain. Like, just bottom line, like my mom's in recovery, and she, like, her chemo brain is about to kill me. I'm not gonna lie. I love her very much. We're very close, but that's one thing to figure out.
I know, it's so difficult. Like my mom and her diagnosis, and now I look back on it and I'm like, oh, there were so many things that I wish that I had known now that I saw her doing or whatever. And even now for me, I'm like, I can't remember the name of something. Does that mean that I need, but hopefully I'll have, by the time that if this does happen to me, that there'll be way better meds and way better early prevention and so forth. So that's why we have to keep fighting this so that we can help ourselves, because it is not going to go away.
No, it's not.
Right.
And it's scary and sad, and it can hit people with no family history of it. And yeah, I mean, I applaud you for your work. We all applaud you for your work.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for letting me come in here and talk about things that matter to me, and getting kids reading, and the football season's here. And thankfully, it's Thursday kickoff for the NFL, and let's get kids reading and playing and doing some good things philanthropically. And I think that if we can do a little bit of that each day, we're all better for it.
Absolutely.
Now, do you have any fundraisers coming up in the near future?
I do. So the Ronald McDonald House of Charlotte, we have our annual Jerseys and Jewels Gala at Bank of America Stadium. And I can send you the link to that. So that's lots of fun. And it's a great fun night. You get to wear a jersey or get to wear a fancy dress, whatever you want, and go to Bank of America Stadium and kind of see what it's like to be on the field and get some really fun parts of being, a player in the NFL. So it's a really fun night, and I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now, what is your prediction for the Eagles this season?
Well, I mean, this is where I get a little, I have written books about other teams. So people are like, I think I have very high hopes for the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I think that they have a great team. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. So, and I love Philadelphia, but I love all the cities. Pittsburgh's a great city. I went to Penn State. I've got lots of friends that are from Pittsburgh. So we'll see. But I live in the Carolinas. So of course it's always fun when your home team is doing well. Everybody's so happy. Yes. So I don't know.
I have to tell you, my special guy is and from the Philadelphia area. He's on the New Jersey side, and he is a lifelong Phillies fan, or anything Philly fan. So obviously the Eagles. I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. So this last Super Bowl was quite amusing in the fact that we were rooting for the opposite things. And then I didn't want to be the gloating person. So when we won, I was like, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think family still lives there.
Humble about winning, unless there's money on the line, and then in which case, maybe not.
Yeah, right.
Now, do you like the Jersey cheesesteak better or the Philly cheesesteak better?
Oh, definitely. I'm a full-on Philly cheesesteak. I love Pat's cheesesteaks. I like it with extra cheese whiz, and that's how I enjoy a good Philly cheesesteak with extra cheese whiz.
There was a good Philly place that just opened up in Valentine.
Oh, really? Well, you'll have to tell me about it.
Because I like it with extra cheese too.
We'll meet.
So, yeah.
Okay, we'll meet there. We'll plan on it. We'll meet there and have cheesesteaks.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, tell everybody where they can find you, Marnie.
So they can find me at marnieschneider.com. Mm-hmm. They can find me at gamedayintheusa.com. They can go to Instagram, Marnie Schneider 1. They can go to Facebook. They can talk to you. Sorry, my dogs are.
That's fine.
It's no problem.
We all have dogs.
They can go, hey, don't they know I'm trying to let people know where to find me? They can talk to you guys and find where to find me. So Instagram, marnieschneider.com, Game Day in the USA. Our books are on Amazon. So go get the books. Let me know what you think. If you want me to, go on and do some readings, school readings, I'm happy to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
My mom actually is an educator as well here in the Charlotte area, former librarian. So
well, I definitely would love to talk to your mom. I love teachers and librarians. Yes.
Yes.
My friend said that the dog has big opinions.
Yeah, I think delivery or something. Yeah.
He's like, you're not going to Valentine, Mom. Nope.
Right.
Well, you hadn't mentioned that you were a fur baby mom, so they had to make sure that you brought that to the door as well.
Yeah, and Fumble the dog, the Chihuahua. He is my dog, and then I have 2 other dogs. My fiance has a big, huge golden retriever, and then there's a mini golden doodle roaming around as well. So lots of dogs.
I'm a Chihuahua mom too. I have 3 Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas
They're
are cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
They're
they're
all very different people. They're all very different from each other, very different personalities. So being a Chihuahua mom is something very different. My oldest, she's mean. She's the queen. She doesn't like anybody but me. And then my middle one, she's my daughter's dog. And then my youngest one, I named him after an R&B singer, Chico DeBarge, but he only has one eye. He's really cute. So love being a dog mom. But Marnie, we're so thankful that you came on and gave us your time this week. And we want to thank everybody that was in the comments and everybody that shared the show as well. We will be back next week, of course. If there's any topics that you want us to cover, feel free to message any of us or go to the Facebook group and shoot us a topic idea in there. And is there any other shout outs you ladies want to give before we go for the evening?
Thank you, Fago. Marnie and I both.
Yes, thank you, Fago,
very much. Yes, so thanks, Fago. You rock. And y'all can find us at 3 Chicks in a Pod on Facebook, on Twitter. Then you can find each one of us individually at the aforementioned places as well. And of course, for all your basketball needs, check out the Queen of Hoop on Twitter, because that girl's got it going on. And you're doing a live
I am doing a space tomorrow night because, as y'all know, it's the last week of the regular season for the WNBA. Go Wings! We love Dallas over here, and but we're going to be talking all things WNBA tomorrow night at 8:15 Eastern. Feel free to join us off of my Twitter, and that's what I have going on this week. But I have tons of stuff going on all week. So, but thank you guys. I think that'll do it for us tonight, and we will see you back next week.
Thank you, guys.